Hi, welcome to my channel today. It is time for another Scraplift Crafternoon, and this week Miss Kristen chose Jen Crow Scraps from Instagram to Scraplift. It is a really fun layout, and I will pop it up here in the corner for you so that you can see what her layout looks like, and I'm going to talk about what I am going to use. I printed this photo of my husband and I with one of our older children. We were at the movie theater, and then I pulled some papers from a Freckled Fawn kit. These kits are small and quite lovely. I actually have like 5 or 6 of them from the last year that I need to work through, and I thought I'd go ahead and pull them for this layout. So I believe there are 6 pieces of double-sided pattern paper in the kit. The cardstock is something that I pulled in from my stash. The alphas, the washi strips, labels, chipboard, wood veneer, and then some Project Life or pocket cards. This tag is something that I'm going to use as a template for this pocket card. I'm going to cut down into a tag. So I'm going to speed us up and we're going to get started. First off, I want to apologize. I'm still sick with this silly head cold. I'm real stuffy and I sound like it, so I'm sorry. I cut my tone-on-tone heart pattern paper, or I actually tore off the edges of the paper, and now I'm going to glue my cut file down onto my background. The cut file that was used in the original layout looked like squares and buildings. I didn't have anything like that, and I was also not scrapbooking about a city or a town or anything, so I just used this heart cut file in place of what the original creator used on her layout. This strip of striped paper came from the tone-on-tone heart paper. I cut off a sliver of it before I tore it down into a square. Now I'm just going to layer up these pattern papers and try to make my layers a little bit like Jen Crow's layers. I used the tag that I showed you at the beginning of the video to trace a tag shape onto this pocket card, and now I'm just going to use my trimmer to attempt to cut it mostly straight. I'm not great at cutting straight lines, so I just used my trimmer. I also traced the hole so that I could use my tool to put a hole in the top of the tag as well. And now I'm just going to start layering up bits and pieces from my embellishments to finish off my layout. I'm going to open up my chipboard pieces and I'm going to start layering them up. But first, I wanted to use the phrase from the washi strips, and I put it on white cardstock, and I'm going to just cut around it and use that down on the bottom of my photo. It's too long for the top part, but it works fairly well on the bottom. The original layout looked to have a piece of flare on it, so I just pulled one of the chipboard circles from the chipboard package to use in place of the flare. And now I'm just going to continue layering bits and pieces of the chipboard, kind of getting an idea of where I want things to go. I really want to use that arrow, but it's not going to work up there at the top. So I think I'm going to put it down at the bottom and have it point towards my journaling strips, which I'm going to put labels down there on the bottom of that tag. One of my favorite things about the Freckled Fawn kits is they almost always include label stickers, and if you've watched me for very long, you know that I use label stickers quite often to write my journaling on. They're just a nice, cute little way to layer up journaling and just kind of be eye-catching. So I glued everything down off camera. Some of the things that I did off camera as well was I added a third label to the bottom of my tag so that I could finish writing out my journaling. I also pen stitched around all of the layers underneath my photo to include my cut file. Now I'm going to add these wood veneer hearts and some enamel dots, and I'm going to call this layout done. Oh yeah, I also added "See You Later" as a title to my layout, and the reason for that is because this was the night before we moved from Virginia to Fort Drum, New York, and we were at the movie theater spending some time with our son and his wife. His wife didn't want to be in the photo, and so it's just a picture of the three of us, but this was our "See You Later" to our son. On a side note, we actually have not seen Garrett for over 3 years now due to COVID, and just he's across the country in California doing recruiting duty, so we haven't seen him. So this "See You Later" was much longer than we intended. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel today. If you liked my video, please click that thumbs up button. Make sure that you check that collaborative playlist below so that you can watch what all of my friends are doing with this scrap lift. You have a great Sunday afternoon. Bye.